Well, hello and welcome to our back to school night presentation. My name is Mr. Olson. I'm your son or daughter's freshman studies teacher. Their first year on our campus here at Half Moon Bay High School, and hopefully, I know we're in this remote learning. We'll get an opportunity to see your son or daughter here on campus, and I'll get to know them a little bit better than I can through the Zoom. I want to emphasize right up front that it's real important that they be doing all the work. They can't make it up with a strong exam score because at least I'm not doing as much like traditional multiple choice type testing. We don't have as much time in class, so they're seeing more kind of written work and things that they should be doing from home. Before we get into the actual curriculum, just a quick little bio about myself. This is my 18th year here at Half Moon Bay High School. I'm also the department chair. I wear a number of hats in the district. I film videos and produce videos at a couple of the school sites. I teach an elective course here on campus, broadcasting. I live in the community, up in the northern part of our community in Montera. My son and daughter both came through this campus. So in addition to being a Half Moon Bay High School teacher, I'm a Half Moon Bay High School parent alum. My daughter a couple years ago graduated from Davis. She works at Genentech, and my son, he's currently still in school. He's going to be a graduating senior very soon from the University of Oregon. Both my kids really wanted to go to those campuses, so your little old community high school can really send your son or daughter anywhere they'd like to go if they pursue the right classes, take the right APs depending on the college major that they might be interested in. And I know they're only ninth graders, but it's time to kind of start thinking about it for them. So, I have a moonlight gig. I work on the side as a sports broadcaster. I'm the play-by-play voice of the USF Dons men's basketball team, and the kids get a kick out of that they sometimes can hear me on radio on KNBR 1050. That's kind of a neat thing. I think you get a sense already. I'm kind of high energy. I wish I could see your sons and daughters here because I feed off their energy, and I'm hopeful that at some point soon we'll be back inside the classroom and doing our normal activities. But in the Zooms, things have gone pretty well. And I'm going to expect work ethic. That's a big part of Mr. Olson's freshman studies class. Well, let's get on to the nuts and bolts of freshman studies here at Half Moon Bay High School. We have a kind of a two-pronged class, if you will, two distinct and different semesters. The title of the class is Life Skills, World Studies, and Technology. So with the technology aspect, that kind of really is spread out over the course of the school year. We're talking to the students about presentation skills, responsibility with use of the internet and technology, the rules of plagiarism and the consequences that they could potentially face here at the high school and beyond in college. How to, orchestrate all the different apps that teachers might be throwing their way, especially in this time of remote learning with Zoom and Google Classroom, which I use, and School Loop and more. So, that's really encompasses the technology side, making sure they understand how to make a slideshow and present, et cetera, to get videos on the internet, those sorts of things. The first semester, as we kind of, move forward here, the first semester is titled Life Skills. And those of you that had sons and daughters that might have had Mr. Rittberger back in 6th grade at Cunha, that first quarter, known as the adolescence unit, we do a whole semester here, and it's a little bit more mature version of that we title Life Skills. It includes units on bullying, cyberbullying, discussions of diversity and tolerance. I'm doing that right now with the students, and we're having some pretty serious discussions about how we treat one another as human beings and, things like respect, et cetera. In our next unit, we get into tobacco and media literacy. How much advertising can influence, decision-making down the line. We have a unit on alcohol and drug use. And again, wise choice making is really the emphasis throughout a lot of what we do in the first semester. We end the first semester with a unit on driver's education. The students will earn a little pink certificate, which allows them to begin the process to, yes, you guessed it, go out and drive. We don't actually drive with the students. You get the pleasure and joy of that. Both my son and daughter, I went through that experience with them. It's kind of a big growth thing, but the students will eventually be driving. They're going to be turning 16 here in the next, year or so, right around there. So that's the intent of our driver's ed unit. And then we have the sex education component. It's a 2-week unit mandated by the governor a few years ago. Here in the state of California, we do it in May. It's run by Planned Parenthood. And we have sent letters home about all these things happening here in our first semester. In the second semester, it's a distinct different class. The kids will get textbooks. The title of the book is World Geography. So it's kind of a world studies or world geography. It's a look at the globe. We'll do separate units on the Americas, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, Asia, and then the Australia, New Zealand, the Southern Pacific world, if you will. And it's an opportunity for the kids to kind of learn about portions of the globe, the different cultures around the world, and get them geared up for next year when they will go into world history. So this class serves as kind of a menu for that. So in that first semester, it's a lot about growing up and becoming adults when they leave our campus. Some of them will be 18. Both my kids, when they graduated, were 18. They were both already registered to vote. So, that process is going to evolve here pretty quickly in the next, just under 4 years here at Half Moon Bay High School. So the first semester, is that growing up element. And then here in the second semester in this class, we'll get into the various sections of the world. We talk a lot about current cultures and take a look at those sorts of things. So that's kind of how the year lays out with regards to my style. I'm a big work ethic person, especially in this world of COVID. I'm not sure it's fair as much to do the old standard multiple choice test and those sorts of things. So I'm doing a lot more like small writing assignments. If the kids are taking the time to do it, they're going to glean things, they're going to learn, and it's going to kind of work that way throughout the course of the school year, at least as long as we're in this remote learning situation. They need to maintain pace with the workload. All right, as I close it out here on back to school night, I'd like to point out that both students and parents should be using School Loop for homework updates. That's really where the grade is going to be seen. And all assignments, I'll post everything through Google Classroom, because Google Classroom is kind of going to be our Bible for the students. But everything posted there will link right to School Loop. So as parents, you'll be able to see the ongoing letter grade. I publish and update frequently. I'm pretty up to the minute with ongoing grades, and the students know that, and I think they appreciate that they get pretty instant feedback about their ongoing grade. So you'll see that in School Loop, and you'll also see there where assignments are posted. So it's kind of the place to use. We're using the same Zoom link all year for the students for the Zoom sessions in the mornings. The 2 times a week I have the opportunity to get with them and see them, and they have those links, so it doesn't change. So they're all coming in and joining the virtual classroom, so to speak. I have a website I use. I know that's a long URL, but it's posted also on my School Loop webpage through the high school. But that's a place where sometimes I have rubrics or WebQuest assignments, etc., that students might be doing. Best way to contact me is via email. There's the email address at the bottom if you have questions, etc. And that's our little look, our presentation of freshman studies here at Half Moon Bay High School. I'm Mr. Olson. Thanks for watching Back to School Night.